As everybody should know, at the end of World War I, Russia wasn't doing so hot, and eventually turned communist, thus forming the Soviet Union. But what if this didn't happen? What if the Russians could take control? The story starts in 1896, with Nicholas II becoming the Tsar of Russia. In our timeline, he wouldn't put an end to this downfall of Russia. He never freed everybody from serfdom, even though he tried to. For those who do not know what serfdom is when you are forced to work every day growing crops for the state, and you get nothing from it. It was basically just rebranding slavery. Now I'm going to change this. So we're going to make him see this better. He will make a plan to completely remove serfdom in the Russian Empire, even though some would absolutely hate it, but in order for Russia to grow, they need to shrink. Now, he needs to have better control over the military, which, with some negotiations, can be possible, which will lead us to a major Russian conflict, the Russo-Japanese War. In our timeline, the Russians got beat up, but with Russia having more control, they would beat Japan back to Korea, making the whole war completely pointless. He would not annex any lands, even though he wants to, because others would see it as a bad idea. So all Russia has to do is fix the holes in the government and make it past World War I. Let's start with the hole fixing. The Tsar would get a council for him to send his ideas to, so now he won't have full power, making everybody hate him less. But wait, everybody is saying, what about Rasputin? Shouldn't I mention him? Well, you, my good sir, are right on the money now. Rasputin was a filthy mystic man, to put it simply, but everybody in the royal family loves him, but the public doesn't. This Rasputin guy would go on to heal the Tsar's son, and eventually being left alone with the Tsar's wife, which, as you could see, the public wouldn't like. So the public has had enough. They demand that Rasputin be gotten rid of. Which in this timeline, the Tsar doesn't want to do, but he has to do it anyways. He will once again strengthen his military and make the troops more loyal as he prepares for the Great War, or a Great War to happen. Which is happening now, apparently. The Russians would fare well holding the front and even pushing into Austria-Hungary somewhat. But the main problem is Germany, who they can't push back into easily. But eventually, they will hold on decently, not losing any land except for Finland, who breaks away. But now we will focus on the communist man himself, Lenin. His revolution wouldn't work as well this time, and it would make him look stupid going against the state that has been improving for its citizens. So Lenin would now be just forced to go in Siberia, I guess, or he would either be sent to Iberia or escape to some other place, maybe Mexico. At the end of World War I, Russia was in the peace deal. They would only take Eastern Prussia, as the people demanded something for all the hard Russian work and lives that got wasted in this absolutely pointless war. But not everything is well for Russia. They're still behind every country when it comes to modernization. So for interwar, the Russians would focus on modernization, which would go decent. The Russian-Finnish relations would grow nicer with time. The Russians are now modernizing. Pretty cool. But now they don't want another major war, so they arm the German border very close. So if a second Great War happens, they will be ready. With modernizing, Russia now has tanks, and they call the great ones T-34s, named after the Tsar. It is the best of the line in the current year, and the Russians will continue to make some advancements into the military technology. Russia now will focus more on the Japanese, who want to conquer all of China for oil. Now Russia would like to prevent this, so the new Tsar has a meeting with the Japanese leader. The Tsar says he will help Japan get some more resources, probably by giving it to them. With the promise to not invade all of China, that is. which the leader would accept, making Japan more calm. Now all they have to worry about is Germany, who is annexing Austria. I guess the Russians are ready for a second Great War. But now Germany is going to give them a shock. Are you ready? Let's go. They'll push them back pretty far with the new technology that Germany has. In fact, they pushed the Russians all the way back to Riga. The Allies will push into Germany from the west, as Germany just used all its power to fight Russia, who isn't fully up to date, but is still putting up a pretty good fight. In almost 2 years of fighting, the Germans and the Italians are now gone. But let's take a look at the peace deal. Russia will annex these lands, and we'll look after this new East Germany, which wouldn't be communist, but will have a democratic monarchy type thing in place, which is what the Russian system is like. But the Allies still keep all the land on the Western Germany the same, but no Cold War happens, as there is no communism here. Without a Cold War, the US wouldn't be as big into militarization as they are in our timeline, so it would make the US less rich. So yeah, the US would be less powerful, which would be great for everybody else. But Russia will slowly fall in a bit, as Poland will be free and Germany unites. The Baltics will break out as well as Ukraine, but now we have a Russia with more land over by Poland, and it has an annexed Belarus, which is pretty cool. Anyways, that's the end of the scenario. Thanks for watching. I did have to stretch how nice Tsar Nicholas was for the sake of this video, but remember, you can recommend your alt history ideas in the comments below. But for now, peace.